Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Johns. I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of Studio Talk. Well, I'm a big fan of Plugin Alliance / Brainworks, and they just came out with a revised subscription plan that I think is pretty darn compelling. So let's get into it. All right. So we're going to talk about that elephant in the room right out of the gate, because you and I both know that's the first question on many of your minds that are watching this already. I've already learned through all the comments and everything. Of course, I've been active on forums for a very long time about how many of you feel about subscription plans in general, okay? And I certainly understand that. There's no question about it. I understand the apprehension towards subscription plans. I have certainly had them, and to some degree, I still do, okay? And if you've watched my channel at all, you know I have a huge issue with Avid subscription plan. Enough so, being somebody who was invested in that ecosystem for over 2 decades, almost 3 decades, okay, in an HDX / TDM world, okay, that finally I said, I've had enough is enough. I'm getting out of this. I'm not having anything to do with a DAW subscription plan, and I'm not having anything whatsoever to do with an annual extortion plan when they don't give you any value for it. I have no problem spending good, hard-earned money when and only if I receive what I perceive. And this is all about what I do, because it's my money, right? Like it's your money, so to be about what you do, for me, there has to be value. Am I getting something for it? And of course, with Avid, you don't get anything. They say you do, but you don't. And anybody who's been in that ecosystem knows that. So I understand. I got so frustrated with it, I sold off all of my Avid gear, got rid of all of it. I was heavily invested and have gone a new route. So I say all that to say this. I understand the frustration and sometimes anger, because I've certainly had both of those things, towards a company that can't do it right. But that said, I am a huge fan of Brainworks and Plugin Alliance. I mean, a huge fan of them. And no, they don't even know I'm making this video, okay? I'm doing this on my own because I'm more than happy to promote products that I use, like, and love. Does it mean that I like and love every plugin in Plugin Alliance? Well, of course not. But overall, is there tremendous value in their plugins? Yes. In this guy's opinion, there is, okay? So let's talk about the first thing that many people talk about, okay? Well, if I'm gonna go subscription, which way am I gonna go, okay? Well, there's a handful of companies out there that do subscriptions. You've got Slate, Slate Digital as an example, really the first one into it. And they do give some compelling reasons to invest in theirs. However, in a second, we'll talk about somebody who's giving them a run for their money, okay? And then, of course, you've got McDSP, who does a good job of it, but a lot of folks these days are just not that familiar with McDSP as people my age are when they used to dominate, especially in the TDM world, okay, with their DSP-related plugins, all right? Waves has one, but theirs is a joke, quite frankly, and they really, if they're going to do it, they need to update it. Now, if there's any one plugin manufacturer that I can't stand and will not have anything to do with, that's Waves. I think most of their stuff is garbage. They make some good stuff, but a lot of it is just it's low rent stuff just to get you tweaked and excited so you'll spend $5 on a plugin. Well, it's like anything else in this world. You get exactly what you pay for. And then most of the AWs these days come with outstanding stock plugins, okay? Not that Pro Tools does, but everybody else does, okay? There's an argument to be made over them versus Waves. So this is not about Waves. This is about Brainworks / DSP. Now, my top 3 plugin manufacturers out there are as follows, okay? My first and foremost, as a must-own for everybody out there, is the FabFilter bundle, okay? If you don't own it, I know you've seen it used in a billion videos, and there's a reason for that. For what they do, they are incredibly, incredibly good. That EQ is freaking phenomenal. That limiter is great. That compressor is really good, okay? So they make some really good stuff, but they're not character plugins. They're not going to give you that vibe, okay? They're workhorse plugins, and they work hard for you, okay? The next plugin manufacturer that I really love is Softube. I think they make really, really good plugins. They're on the pricey side, okay? But you do get what you pay for, okay? They make very, very, very good plugins, okay? And so I strongly recommend them. And they also make very, very good control surfaces for their plugins too. So maybe you want to consider that as an option. Outside of that, I love Brainworx and Plugin Alliance. I will tell you that I probably use Brainworx and Plugin Alliance plugins as well as Softube plugins more than any other plugin manufacturer. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these companies, but today we're talking about Brainworx / Plugin Alliance, okay? And so I've been a subscriber of their program. Recently, I did a video about how that worked for me, and I showed you basically that all of the money that I paid for that subscription over the course of the year, they basically give me the majority of it back to use as credit to buy whatever plugins I want and use that credit. They didn't have to be on they didn't have to be at retail. They could be on sale, anything like that, and you could buy whatever your plugins. And basically meaning that yes, you're paying for a plugin subscription for an entire year, but you're getting your value in plugins right back. The only time that wouldn't make sense is if you don't want any of their plugins. But if you don't want any of their plugins, why are you subscribing? Okay, at least making it a year. So that was very, very compelling. That in and of itself, which basically meant they were free. And you got the plugins at the end, but you got access to all these other plugins. That's what you've got to consider. That's what, you don't got to do anything. That's what I'd recommend that you consider, okay? For me, it's all about value. Value, value, value. Am I going to get something for the money that I spend over a course of a year? Whereas with Avid, as an example, I would fork that money out, and I was in the HD world, the HDX world, and I was forking out $400 every year and getting a big fat zero. Didn't get nothing, nada, zilcho, year after year after year. It was ridiculous, okay? There, be anti. I'm anti. But with this, I can't even imagine why they're even doing it like this, because you're getting so much freaking value. Okay, so again, I know you guys probably think I'm being paid to promote this, but I'm not. I'm just that pumped up about what they do. I think they're really revolutionizing how this really can work. I think so far, without a doubt, they have the most compelling system of anybody out there that does subscriptions. Before this, I first would have said Steven Slate, because they nailed it right out of the gate. Gave you a lot of bang for a buck for not a lot of money. But I'm kind of iffy about some of their plugins. Some of their plugins are really good and some of them are not, but you don't get that much with them, okay? But with Brainworx and Plugin Alliance, you get a lot, okay? So they now have 3 plans, okay? So how this is going to work in a second, I'm going to go over the computer and pull up and do a screenshot of these plans. But they basically have 3 plans now, okay? And then I'm going to talk through the various questions that many of you will have that happens to be in their facts section that we can talk about and dive into a little bit more, okay? So let's head on over to the computer and let's start talking about that. All right, so now we're over at the computer, and now I'm going to pull up Safari, and we're going to take a look at their website. So let's head on over to that now. Okay, so here I am, and here's where this announcement is kind of taking place. And you can see the mega bundle, 180 plugins, all that stuff going on. But anyway, now you can see we've got one bundle now in 3 sizes. So basically the core of these bundles, as I said before, are the same plugins, okay? It's the things that they do on the top of this is what gives you more value, okay? And so I guess they took on like shirt sizes. They've got a large, extra large, and an XXL. That's an interesting approach to doing it. But so anyway, those are the 3 bundles we've got going on there. Here we can see we've got 180 plus products and 40 plus brands, which means it is a boatload of plugins. So let's take a look at all those plugins and see what they come with. So let's kind of scroll down through here, and you can see these are all the various plugins that you're going to get with this, okay? And I have to imagine that you can't possibly have a need for a plugin or a job that you've got to do where this bundle can't do that for you. I just can't even imagine that's the case. Yeah, maybe some precision stuff like the FabFilter and everything else like that. But this is a lot of plugins, guys. I mean, look at that. That is a boatload of plugins, and the majority of them are actually done incredibly well. All right, so let's scroll on down here and see what else we've got. You know, it has a little sampler included in there, so some of you are going to take advantage of that. And of course, there's some virtual instruments included in this, which is pretty cool. And then, like I said before, you know, they recently released their own mastering plan where you can upload your song and they're going to take artificial intelligence and apply some mastering to it. I've yet to try that. I will try it, and then we'll do a review based upon that at some point in the future, but I haven't gotten around to that. Okay. All right. So they also apparently have got a lot of training programs that they're doing with this, which is also pretty good. I guess they're kind of stealing that idea from Slate. I think that's one of the things that Slate does that brings value to his plugins includes that. Okay. So let's get down to the nuts and bolts here, and let's talk about the 3 different bundles and basically the differences between those 3. Again, we've got the Mega, which is the large. We've got the Mega XL, which is in the middle. And then we have the Mega XXL, which is the Mac Daddy, okay? The thing that's very interesting about all of this is it's really going to be dependent upon how much you're going to use some of these other things that they're offering. That's really going to make the difference between ultimately $10 a month or $25 a month, or meet it in the middle somewhere at $20. Okay, so let's talk about this. At the core to this, okay, first of all, you can get, with the Mega Bundle, you get 1 machine authorization at a time, okay? 1 at a time. Next, with the Mega XL, you get 2 authorizations at a time. So you can have up to 2 different machines that can be working on their plugins at the same time. And then with the XXL, you have 3, okay? So you've got up to 3 machines that you can do that with, okay? Now, for the record, this will come up in the facts section, but you can, if you just go with the $9.99, you can put that license on a USB stick and take that from computer to computer. You can even put your plugins on there and run your plugins off that USB, or you can copy those over to whatever computer you're working on, okay? But that is an option for you as well, so kind of keep that in mind when you're considering these things, all right? As far as the core plugins, all these bundles are the same, and I find that quite interesting. Okay, they have, each one of them have a total of 150 plus plugins, okay? And they also, all 3, have 40 plus modular effects in them. So in that sense, the core of this, basically the same across the board, okay? Here's where we start to see some delineation between the difference, okay? If you want to look at just an average going plugin price on sale, and I'm going to the low end of this. So let's just say you can get plugins all day for $40. Let's just say, okay? You know, the best ones can't be had for that, but let's just say you could for the sake of discussion, right? So with the Mega L bundle, I'm going to spend $10 a month or $120 a year, okay? So if I spend $120 a year, what they're going to do is give me 3 plugins. I can pick any 3 plugins of the 150 or so that they give me, okay? So I own those forever, okay? So let's do the math. I can use basically all of these plugins for an entire year and really pay nothing because I'm getting 3 plugins that I'm purchasing. So what do you have to lose? The only time this wouldn't make sense is if you didn't want to have anything to do with their plugins. And if you didn't want to have anything to do with their plugins, why are you watching this and why would you subscribe, okay? So it just that's why this stuff gets so compelling with Brainworx. I think they've really figured this out, okay? And so after that, of course, they give you 3 free plugins every year. If you happen to pay the annual fee, in other words, you write a check for the whole year in advance, you get the voucher to those plugins right away. I mean, immediately after paying it. If not, at the end of the year, once you've completed a year, they'll send you a voucher. You know, I recently did a video where I got my voucher, the previous system, which I thought was spectacular, and I think this is even better, okay? So, again, you get 3 plugins every year with the Mega L, okay? With the Mega XL, you're going to spend $20 or $240 a year. Again, same core thing. This time they give you 6 plugins. Are you figuring out the math? 6 times 4 is 24, $240. So you buy those 6 plugins at $40. You basically got access to all the other plugins for free. I can't drive that home enough, everybody. And then, and then followed on, this is where you get outside the $40 value, you get better value. If you go $25 a month, which is $250 a year, okay, they're going to give you 10 free plugins. Well, I'm sorry, $25 a month is $300 a year. My math didn't work. I only did 10 months there. For $300, they're going to give you a voucher for 10 free plugins. So if I'm basing it on $40, that's $400 worth of plugins. At this point, they're paying you to use their plugins, and you have access to all of them, okay? So that alone, if you just stopped right there, that alone should be enough, okay, to justify any of these plans. What I've gone on so far is more than enough to justify them. But let's talk about what else, okay? Let's talk about some commonality between the rest of them. They include the Mega and sampler sounds, as well as with the Mega L, like I said before, they have their online mastering thing now that's done by artificial intelligence, okay? And then ultimately with the Mega L bundle at basically $120 a year, you're going to get 6 free online masters. So you got 6 songs you finish, you want to master them through their service. I don't know if it's any good or not, but if it's like their plugins, it probably is, okay? You're going to get 6 free plugins that are mastered, okay? If you go up to XL, you're going to get 12 free masters done in a year. So they're doubling that, okay? They're doubling that. Basically, you double the amount you're paying everyone, so why not double the number of online masters, okay? You also get access to BX's Mastering DAW. Again, that's something I'll investigate because I'm going to do one of these plans. And get into it and see what that's all about. So stay tuned for a little review of that, okay? And so that's in the Mega XL. Now, the Mega XXL, you get a few extra things. Here, you get 20 free masters done a year, okay? You also get the BX Mastering DW, but you also get a live plugin host. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that that's maybe to use their plugins in a live setting. I'm not sure, but we'll have to look into that, okay? Here's another thing. You get a complimentary upgrade for all existing Mega Bundles. So if you're on the Mega Bundle already, which is priced the same, you're just automatically converted, okay? Or you can get complimentary upgrade to it. You're not automatically. I'll talk about that in the facts section in a second, okay? And then lastly, the pudding on the cake, or the ice pudding on the cake, the icing on the cake, you're gonna get access to PA's beta program. Now this could be hit or miss here. I don't know. They're kind of little crazy, I think, for doing this one, because if they put too many things out there in beta and they're not quite ready for prime time, that could frustrate some people. But so you got to remember that if you're on this bundle. So anyway, you get access to any plugins that are working sometimes weeks and months in advance. So you can see what's going on before everybody else. So you get an access. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the facts section, okay? So that's the monthly cost. If you want to go into the yearly annual cost, you save quite a bit of money. It's $99 a year if you pay annually for the large bundle, okay, compared to $120, and it's $200 a year for the XL bundle compared to $240, and it's $250 a year compared to $300 for the Mega XXL. So you can save any more, but you still get everything. If you go annually, the free plugins you get right freaking away, okay? All right, so enough about that. Let's move on down to the frequently asked questions, okay? So here, if I'm a Mega Bundle user, what happened to my existing plan? Don't worry, the old original Mega Bundle of 2010 is now the new Mega XXL. We have upgraded every Mega Bundle to the new XXL user now at your old pricing, okay? So if you were paying a little bit less, you get it at the new pricing at no extra cost. Yes, even if you get the original 29 early adopter deal of your lifetime pricing, enjoy it for that price, okay? Again, these guys know how to freaking do it right, okay? I think they've really thought about how to do this without pissing anybody off. Something Avid could learn a freaking lot from. Okay, so, I was once an early adopter and have been using the Mega since 2019. Do I have to pay more now? Well, I think they just answered that. No, we've upgraded you, blah, blah, blah. We just covered that, okay? What happened to the other PA subscription bundles? They're gone, okay? They're being replaced by this one. That's just part of the evolution of these things. I have, in this example, I have $250 of vouchers from my previous bundle that I've not yet to use Don't worry about that. You've got until October of 2022. So you've got over a year to figure out what you want to do with those vouchers and then use them or lose them. Why you'd sit on them for a year, I don't freaking have the slightest clue. Okay, maybe you're waiting for that next greatest one. I don't know. Okay, is there more blog article? I don't care about that. Free trial? Well, of course you can do a free trial. I don't even need to read that. Can I upgrade or downgrade my subscription later? If you want to switch from one plan to another, you currently have to cancel your existing plan and sign up for an all new one. They're working on making that switching better in the future. Now, here's a question I've got for you, Plugin Alliance and BrainWorks. I don't think you thought this one through unless I'm going to get to it in a fact down the road, and knowing my luck, I probably will. But let's just say I've been on one plan right now, and I've been on it. Let's just say I start one of these. Well, I'll start on the light version or the large version. I guess you don't want me calling it light, do you? The large version. Let's say I start with that, which is $9.99 a month, and then I want to go up to a larger bundle. But on that, let's say I've already been doing it maybe 3/4 of the year, right? And I should have technically earned enough to get 2 out of the 3 plug-in credits so far. And let's say I'm 2/3 into the year and I want to pick a new plan. Am I going to lose all of that time in, okay, if I start a new plan and have to wait a whole nother year? I think that's one question a lot of people are going to have, so I think you need to answer that question, okay? And as far as the vouchers you get with their free plugins with the plan, do they ever expire? You can use your Keep Any 3, 6, or 10 vouchers as soon as they hit your inbox. Blah, 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 blah. You'll have 12 months, okay? Every 12 months, you'll get a new one, okay? So after that, let's see, do they expire? No. Let's see here, 12 months pay for weather. That's one payment annual plan. I didn't really answer that question, okay? Sorry about it. You got to fix that. I didn't see where that answered that question. Can I cancel my subscription anytime? Well, of course you can. Okay, back to the computers again. The other gives you access to more machines, I'm assuming, at the same time. But if you want to take from computer to computer, you can use a USB drive. The beta program, we talked about that already. That could be quite interesting, although that could also be a problem for them. Do they offer an education discount? No, they don't. These prices are so low, it wouldn't make sense. Okay, so that basically covers this new plan, okay? I think this thing's freaking phenomenal. I don't know about you, but for me, again, like I talked about before, it's all value. It's all value, value, value. And here's what I'm going to say, okay? I'm not going to argue with you folks that are just adamant about and just won't even entertain a whole subscription thing. I'm not faulting it. I'm not even saying you're wrong, okay? I'm just going to say I don't agree with you, okay? Especially with this one. There are some I certainly agree with you on. Again, for me, don't put everything in one basket, okay? Not everything's apples and apples, okay? Sometimes you got to look at them and evaluate them individually on their own, okay? For me, when you look at this one, this is a no-brainer, okay? You could use this plugin bundle and never need another plugin, okay? Never need another plugin. 1, they're incredibly efficient, okay? 2, the majority of them are very good, okay? 3, they're really good about updating and adding new plugins and keeping things interesting, okay? All of you need to realize it's only so long they're going to be able to keep doing these, recreating old pieces of gear. I don't really care about that personally, okay? If it's well done, then great, but that's been done already. I would like to find new and unique approaches, okay? You know, look at what Acoustica's done with their plugins. They're taking a whole new approach to this, and quite frankly, they're very good, although very DSP insanely... I get frustrated when I use them. Okay. But anyway, but they're good. When they work, they're fan-freaking-tastic, okay? But for me, this is compelling. I think this plug-in bundle completely destroys Slate, in my opinion. I mean, they're wiping the floor with Slate, okay? If Softube came out with a subscription plan and it was similar to this one, I tell you, baby, you got to run for your money, Plugin Alliance. You got to run for your money because Softube makes some very, very good plugins, okay? So anyway, so consider this, take it for what it is ultimately, but do me one little favor here. I look forward to your comments down below. I want to hear what you have to say, okay? Because I know many of you are very, very, very opinionated on this subject. All I ask you to do is keep it cool. Let's have debates, not arguments, okay? Nobody needs to insult anybody, okay? But in the meantime, do me a favor. If you like the content I put, it really helps me. Come on, subscribe to the channel. Give me a chance, okay? I've grown this channel pretty good. I think you'll like the content that I do. The thing about this channel is you're always going to get straight talk, the real deal. I am not bought and sold by any gear manufacturer, plug-in manufacturer, audio distributor, or music store on the planet. None of those people influence me ever and never will, or I'll get out of this thing altogether. That's my promise to you, and I expect all of you hold me accountable to that, okay? Until next time, I hope every one of you have a great day. Bye-bye.